Welcome to this video. My name is Hannah. I'm a UK registered nurse, university lecturer, being an NMC OSCE programme lead, and I provide independent nursing education and tutoring for international nurses preparing for the OSCE return to practice nurses, and also UK university students with their academic support for their academic writing. So in this video, I'm going to go through the oral assessment station. So this is one of the written clinical skills. Sometimes gets a little bit lost and forgotten. So I'm going to go through this station, important station. I'm going to talk you through the 4 scenarios and how you can go about answering them and the key things that you need to do in this station. Okay, so oral assessment, written clinical skills station. I'm going to take you through the 4 scenarios, key things you need to do and to answer these 4 scenarios. So this station is a silent written station of which you have 8 minutes, so no verbalisation, and the 3 components that you need to do in the station. So one is calculate the oral assessment tool score, and I'm going to show you that. The second is you need to identify the clinical significance of the scenario, okay? So you can't just memorise interventions, you need to be able to interpret your scenario on the day and make a small summary point about what is what's happening for the patient in terms of mouth care. And then you need to write your care plan with a minimum of 6 interventional points that you are going to complete for the patient. So there's normally 4 patient scenarios, and you can get 1 scenario on the day. So it's an intensive care patient, a patient with learning disabilities, a patient cancer patient or patient on chemotherapy, and an end-of-life patient. So it's really good just to, before you start thinking about scenarios, and definitely don't memorise anything, but just understand what are the fundamentals of mouth care, because this will get you through a huge amount of these scenarios, okay? So what are the things we need to aim to do for mouth care? The first thing is we need to keep it clean, okay? The second is we need to prevent and manage any dry mouth. We need to assess and prevent any soreness or ulceration. We need to do regular reassessment to make sure that the patient's not deteriorating and the mouth is improving. We should always try and support independence where possible, and we definitely want to prevent any aspiration in those vulnerable patients. So these are what I call fundamentals of mouth care, and actually you can do these, you put these points through kind of lots of different scenarios. They're applicable kind of to every patient. So the first part of the station is you need to work out the oral health assessment score. So you'll be given a copy of the NICE oral health assessment tool, and it will be completed for you. So you will have the scoring will be done in each of the components here, and you'll just need to add up the score and put the total in the bottom. That's normally what happens, or it may already be pre-added up for you, but always check you want to put the total in here. So for example, here my score is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my total score here would be 4. So you need to complete that, or check and make sure it's fully completed. But you don't normally need to complete the individual components. You don't really have enough time for that. And also you haven't got enough information in the scenario to do that. Okay, let's look at one of my scenarios then. This is for the intensive care patient. So Jamie is in intensive care following extensive bowel surgery. He's intubated, ventilated and sedated. Please calculate the oral assessment score and propose a plan of care for Jamie's mouth care whilst he's in intensive care. Okay, so you will get your oral health assessment tool like I just showed you, and you'll need to add that up. So we think about patients who are in intensive care. They are obviously sedated. They are unable to perform their own mouth care. They obviously have an endotracheal breathing tube in, so that is can cause risk of soreness, and they're also at risk of ventilated associated pneumonia due to aspiration. So my kind of understanding of the this clinical scenario would be Jamie is unable to perform mouth care due to being sedated and ventilated, and is at risk of ventilated associated pneumonia and ulceration from the endotracheal tube. So again, core interventions. So we're going to do that twice daily teeth cleaning with a soft compact toothbrush, or maybe a suction toothbrush, using fluoride toothpaste. Okay, all patients have that, even those that are asleep in intensive care. Apply moisturiser to Jamie's oral mucosa and lip balm to the lips every 2 to 4 hours. And we're going to reassess Jamie using the oral health assessment tool every 8 hours. Our specific intensive care interventions are then, so we might use a bite block or fastener, so we can alternate moving the tube from side to side. So this prevents the tube kind of resting in one place for too long, causing ulceration. again, any ulceration is source of infection and soreness, and we want to prevent that. We're going to provide regular suction here because Jamie's at risk of aspiration pneumonia, so we want to make sure, and he's unable to manage those oral secretions, so we need to clear those for him. Chlorhexidine mouthwash is a very contended point in intensive care patients. In fact, actually, the guidance shows that it's not beneficial. There is some chance of increased risk of death, as well as a nice statement on it. The British Association of Critical Care Nurses is, if you are using chlorhexidine mouthwash, it's on prescription and only after discussion with the consultant only. So it's important you put that in and don't put a blanket point around chlorhexidine mouthwash in your intensive care patient. Okay, scenario number 2 is a patient with learning disabilities. So we've got Sylvia, she's got a learning disability. She's a resident in a nursing home. She has some fine motor skill difficulty. She can communicate with clear instructions and picture aids. She has a lot of oral secretions, which make her chin wet and sore. She's currently in hospital with pneumonia. She's on oxygen and taking minimal oral intake. Okay, so what's going on with this scenario? So firstly, Sylvia has some limited communications and ability to perform oral care independently. So we're thinking about communication aids here. Her mouth is at risk of becoming dry whilst in hospital with the oxygen therapy and reduced oral intake. She's also got a lot of oral secretions, so this could make her chin sore as well. So core interventions again, so same, twice daily teeth cleaning, soft compact toothbrush or an electric toothbrush. We would think about regular oral mouth cleansing, so either swap hydration, ice chips, sips of water throughout the day. We would want to keep her lips clean and moist using moisturiser or lip balm, and we're going to reassess every 8 hours. Specific interventions, so we want to encourage self-care here and independence, think back to those core principles I talked about earlier. So using a foam handled toothbrush or a wide angled toothbrush or pump action toothpaste. We would also want to use communication aids, picture aids, easy read guides to support with her understanding and independence. And we want to regularly wipe Sylvia's face and use oral suction to minimise moisture on the skin and potentially put a barrier cream on. Third scenario is patient having cancer or chemotherapy. So obviously cancer patients are at risk of mucositis because of dryness and side effects of chemotherapy. So we've got Joy, who's having chemotherapy for cancer. She's currently in hospital to help manage her symptoms. Her mouth is dry and painful with ulcers and she has mucositis. So again, what's going on with this? So obviously she's got pain and ulceration, so it's really important for us to treat the pain and keep the mouth moist and clean. So core interventions, you'll see the similar interventions here. So we're going to provide twice daily teeth cleaning with a soft toothbrush, fluoride toothpaste. We're going to support with twice daily chlorhexidine mouthwash if able to tolerate, and that's okay in these patients. We're going to offer regular cleansing and hydration, so again, ice chips, sips of water. We're going to apply oral moisturiser and lip balm, and we're going to reassess 8 hourly using the oral health assessment tool. Specific interventions, we might give it artificial saliva in this case, so that's it's normally in a can, can spray it in the mouth and it just instantly kind of moistens the mouth. And really important here that we arrange some analgesia because the mouth's very painful, and obviously if it's very painful it's going to limit kind of mouth care and kind of oral intake, so we want to get the pain addressed. And the final one is end of life. This sometimes has some dentures. We're thinking about some specific denture care here. Obviously, also be aware of any oxygen in this scenario sometimes. So Arthur is receiving end of life care following spread of his lung cancer. He has dentures and he's receiving home-based oxygen to help with symptom relief. Sometimes in the NMC scenario, I know not always particularly relevant. Might not always have patients on oxygen, but that's sometimes the case in this scenario. So what are we going to do for Arthur? So what are the key things here? So Arthur's got dentures and he's receiving home oxygen. So he requires support with denture care, keeping his mouth moist and free from ulceration. So again, core interventions, support or provide Arthur with twice daily teeth cleaning, denture cleaning with soft toothbrush. So we're going to be dentures here, and also some soft cleaning with gums. We are going to do chlorhexidine mouthwash if tolerated. We are going to support again with that hydration, so ice chips, sips of water, spray, artificial saliva as well. Specific interventions, so we need to remove the dentures overnight and soak them in a cleaning solution. And we should assess the gums for any denture-related sores as well. So I hope that little overview of the oral assessment station was helpful. I know someone put it in the comments ages ago, so I've just had a bit of time this week to do that one for you. Relatively straightforward station, but give it a little bit of time and attention so it's not a surprise on the day for you. Learn your core requirements for mouth care. Make sure you know your specific interventions for your different patients, and make sure you do practice it with the timer on so you know you can get the station done in 8 minutes. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. It's totally free, open access. I don't take any paid advertising, and it has supported hundreds of nurses to pass their NMC OSCE exam on first attempt.